I don't think you get an easy grade in my class, though my grading is not that difficult. My whole intent is to make sure that you know the material. I'm not so worried about what your grade is as that you understand what it is I'm trying to teach you, and that you understand how to apply it to the job that you'll have to have when you go out in the field. When my students walk out of my room from editing classes, I expect them to be able to walk into any editing room anywhere in the world and understand what's going on, that it's not strange to them, that they feel at home there. Highlights. Well, let's just go with the movies I'm most proud of. I'm most proud of that I worked on Rambo 2. I'm most proud of Mulan, of RoboCop, Total Recall, Their Eyes Were Watching God, Great Balls of Fire, Deja Vu, Cutthroat Island, Substitute 3. What I'm most proud of is that I stayed working steadily, for the most part, for over 30 years. And in Hollywood, that's almost full employment to do it that long. So I was very happy with that. I really can't complain. And now I'm back home where I grew up teaching, and I can't imagine much better situation than what I have now, except the fact that my family would like it here. Well, I hitched a ride with friends that were moving out to California. This was in 1976. And I had the name of one person. He was an actor and an acting teacher over at one of the schools in Los Angeles. So he's had no leads for me for work. So he said, but come on down and take part in my acting class. So I sat in his acting class for about 2 months, at the end of which he said a friend of his had a job with a Perry Como special. Perry Como was a popular singer at that time. And the program was shot in Austria. All the dailies had been held up in customs, so they were behind schedule. So they needed help. I called, offered to work for free. They accepted my offer. I worked for 5 weeks, at the end of which they said, we have $100 left in the budget. You can have it if you like. I took the $100. I went from working from nothing to working for $20 a week. And that job led directly to the next job, which led directly to the next job, and so on, and so on, and so on. It's always difficult to let people go. But every movie, you've got to let people go. You try and do it in the fastest way possible that it causes the least pain. So like pulling off a Band-Aid. I used to have a catchphrase, I'm going to make this short and sour. We got to let you go. If it was because of their performance, I'd try and frame it in a manner in which it would be constructive to show them how they could improve their performance. If it's just because of manpower or our schedule requires it, you just tell them that. We have enough work for just the amount of people that we have on hand right now. You're going to have to go on somewhere else. We'll call you back if we need you. That's one way you know if you're doing right, if people call you back. I wanted to teach in the back of my mind most of all the time I was there in Hollywood. I thought it'd be a nice fitting an ending, rather a nice ending to my career if I could go back home and teach what I'd learned out in Hollywood. I came here initially with the thought of continuing working with the studio films that were coming to New Orleans, but unfortunately there's not a lot of editorial work here. That's mainly due because the directors, they all live in West Hollywood. And no matter how exotic your location is when you're shooting, once shooting is over, directors want to finish editing their movie near their house. As soon as we get directors living in New Orleans, then we will have a very vibrant post-production industry. As of right now, the only post-production we have is really during production. There's not that many shows finishing here. One day that might change, I would hope so. I love what I do. I love working with the kids. They're young, they're ambitious, they have their life ahead of them, and they're very positive. Also in this school, I find that the students like to help one another. This is excellent, because you need other people in this business. I tell all my classes, in this business, when your friends work, you work. So make friends and be a friend. That's your best guarantee for long-time employment. Know what you're doing, make good contacts, and be diligent.